Okay. Hello students, we'll see the next part after the live class. Okay, under the live class we finished the discharge of contract, and we started the remedies available to the aggrieved party on the breach of contract. Under that, rescission of the contract is over. Rescission of the The aggrieved party can rescind the contract merely communicating his decision to the rescind the contract, or he can decide to take legal actions. He can take the legal actions also, and court may rescind the contract in some cases and court may not rescind the contract in some cases. Okay, when the court may not rescind the contract in some cases means, see, where the plaintiff has expressly or impliedly ratified the contract, the court may not grant rescission of the contract. When he made changes in the contract, in that case he may not, court may not grant the rescission. Where without the fault of either party there is a changes in the circumstances and the parties cannot restore their original position. It's a main thing under this, say, if a particular person is going to rescind the contract means he should be in a position to restore the benefits. Okay, what are the benefits he received, he should restore that benefits. If that person is not in a position to restore the benefit means he cannot, the court may not order to rescind the contract. And one more is where during the subsistence of contract a third party has acquired the rights in the subject matter of the contract in good faith on and for value. Good faith and for value, the third person acquired the position. Third person enter ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ರಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. And when a plaintiff seeks to rescind only a part of the contract and the part of the contract cannot be separated from the rest of the contract. In case aggrieved party want to cancel only the part of the contract but that particular contract is not in a position to divide. ಕೆಲವು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ aggrieved party is ready to rescind only part means in that case the court may not grant the rescission of the contract. That's first remedy is over. Second one, suit for the damages. Okay, under the suit for damages, okay, damages is of contract. Under the first one, see, rescission ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಲೀಫ್ಸ್, ಯಾವುದೇ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಗ್ರೀವ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ the fundamental principles underlying the damages is compensation to the injured party. Under this is nothing but the compensation should give to the injured party and not the punishment of the guilty party. There is no punishment for the guilty but compensation should pay for the injured party. Next, third one is a suit for quantum merit. It's nothing but it's very easy. It means payment in proportion of the value or amount of work done. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ at the time of cancellation of the contract, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹೌಸ್, ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಓವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ happening some uncertain events the contract is stopped means the contractee has to pay the amount how much the work is done. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕನ್ನು suit for quantum merit means is nothing but suing for the value of the part of the portion of the work has is done. How much the value of the portion of the work is done, he can sue for that. Any portion of the contracting parties can sue for that. Okay, now see, the aggrieved party may file a suit upon a quantum merit in the following cases. The aggrieved party, he can sue. For example, contract ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ because of the mistakes of the contract is stopped. Now contractor is aggrieved party, he can claim the sue upon the quantum merit. He can take the money or he can ask contract which has been discharged by the breach of contract or default by the defendant. Work is when he can claim for the under the quantum merit. ಆವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಗ್ರೀವ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಅವನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಹಣ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ವೇರ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಡನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್, ವರ್ಕ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ is discharged by the breach of contract or the default by the defendant. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಅದನ್ನು ಬ್ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅವನು ಕೆಲಸ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್. And one more, where work has been done as per the contract which is discovered to be odd or became odd for some reason, the person who has done something under it can claim reasonable payment upon quantum merit in spite of the fact that agreement has become odd. It's not old, it's odd. Okay, work is done as per the contract which is discovered to be odd. After the work, it's discovered that it's odd. ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅದು odd ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ, becomes odd or some reasons. In that case, that particular aggrieved party can claim for the work how much he does. Okay. Next one, where a person lawfully does something for another person or delivers something to him without an intention to do gratuitously, and the other person enjoys the benefit thereof, the latter is bound to pay to the former in respect of the act so done or restore the things to so delivered. Okay, it's nothing but where a person lawfully does something or another person delivers something to him without an intention to gratuitously, free ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡುವ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು without the intention to receive something back, ಅಂತ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ he can claim under the quantum merit. Okay, without the intention of do it gratuitously. Gratuitously means freely, free ಮಾಡೋ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ. Next one, where an indivisible contract has been completed for form, but badly the party who has performed the indivisible work can claim the whole sum, but the other party can make deduction for bad works. For example, some indivisible work, we cannot divide that work. Okay, performed, the work is fully performed, but badly the party who has performed the indivisible work can claim the whole sum, but the other party can make deductions for the bad works. For indivisible works fully performed, and that particular person can claim for the full amount, but the another person can make the deductions for the bad works. ಅವನ ಕೆಲಸ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ he can make the deductions. Okay, so ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಸಿಗುವಂಥದ್ದು under the quantum merit. For example, see, there is one order for the decoration. Okay, as per the order, A is the person, the decoration person, B is the owner of the particular house. For the housewarming function, he is giving the order to A. As per the order, A have to decorate the particular house as per the plan of the owner. But after the completion of the work, okay, B, the particular owner of the house is not satisfied with the work of the A, means he can, or there is some mistakes, or he destroys some flowers, means for the that is the bad work of the A, right, decoration person, right? In that case, he can deduct the payment. For example, that particular contract for the 10,000 rupees means for the bad works he can deduct 2,000 rupees and he can pay only the 8,000 rupees. That is the fourth one. Okay, in these cases, quantum merit can be claimed. And there are some situations suit for quantum merit does not rise in the following cases. In the following lump sum of money is proposed to be paid for the entire work. Then the in a contract is not divisible into works, and the lump sum of money is proposed to pay for the entire work. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟೇ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಆಗಿರ್ತದೋ ಅಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಕೆಲವು ವರ್ಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಎ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಗ್ರೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಲಂಪ್ ಸಮ್, ನೋ ಮನಿ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪೇಡ್ ಟಿಲ್ ದ ಓಲ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಸ್ ಡನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರೆಂಟ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅರೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ ಎ definite job is agreed to be done for a lump sum. For example, for the whole work, there is an agreement between A and B. As per the agreement, A have to do a particular work for the 10,000 rupees. B is ready to pay. A have to do some work for the 10,000 rupees. There is a lump sum, particular contract for the lump sum amount. Okay, in that case, they cannot claim under the quantum merit, because that is the contract only for the full contract, not for the part, right? Next is the third one, nothing can be recovered upon quantum merit where there is no express or implied promise to pay for work already done. Nothing can be recovered upon the quantum merit when there is no express or implied promise to pay for the work already done. Sometimes the particular person not promised to pay for the ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಫಾರ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡನ್. ನಾನು ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟೇ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಸೆಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಂಟ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಸೂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಕೆಲವು ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೆಮಿಡೀಸ್ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್. ಸಿ, ಇನ್ ಸರ್ಟೇನ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್, okay, right, in certain situations or cases of breach of contract, damages may not be an adequate remedy. Damages not a adequate remedy. In such cases, the court may direct the party in breach for the specific performance of the contract. The court may order to specific performance. Specific performance is granted by the court in the following cases. When the court is going to granted the specific performance, when monetary compensation is not an adequate relief. In all cases ಹಣ ಕೊಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುವುದಿಲ್ವಾ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಅಸರ್ಟೈನ್ ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ by the non-performance of the contract. Sometimes it is not possible to measure the damages. Okay, in that case also there is a need of the specific performance. Third one, when it is probable that monetary compensation cannot be got for one non-performance of the act. Sometimes that particular person feels that ಅವರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಹಣ ಸಿಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಣ ಸಿಗಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಣ ಸಿಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಕೆಲಸವೇ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸಿ, ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೊಬ್ಯಾಬಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮಾನಿಟರಿ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಗಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನಾನ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್, ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮಾನಿಟರಿ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾನಿಟರಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ particular part is not possible, in that case court may order for the specific performance. Okay, next, specific performance will not be granted by the court in the following cases. Equitable into the either party when is not certain ಇಲ್ಲದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಲಾಫುಲ್ ಉಂಟು ಅಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟೈನ್, unfair, inequitable, and where the contract is of personal nature. For example, personal nature ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, for contract to paint a features, etc., right. For example, that a particular person died, whether the ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಒಬ್ಬ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಆ ಪೇಂಟರ್ ಸತ್ತೋದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಯಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವೇರ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಸ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡುವ, ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ರಿಕವರೇಬಲ್ ನೇಚರ್, ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. When your contracts ultra virus, if a particular contracts ultra virus the particular law of the company, against the law of the country or against the any social values of the country, means under that specific performance is not granted by the court. When the court cannot supervise the actual performance of the contract, that is the building construction contracts, where the court cannot supervise the actual performance. Sometimes in some cases actual performance ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ the court have to supervise, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. In some cases the court is not possible for the court to supervise the actual performance, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು, ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ the contract, that is the building construction contract, is not possible to supervise all the contracts whether it's going on or not, right. In such cases the court is not going to grant the actual performance of the contract. Okay, this next one is the fifth one, suit for injunction. This is the last remedies. One is the specific performance, fifth one is the injunction. Injunction is a preventive relief. Injunction is an order of the court restraining a party from doing a particular act which he promised not to do. It is nothing but stay. It is very, in easy sense, it's nothing but stay order. Okay, it is a Preventive relief, it's the relief, preventive relief, it prevent a particular person from doing a certain things which he promised to not to do. ಅವನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಕೊಡೋದನ್ನು ಇಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ರಿಲೀಫ್. ಇಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ restraining a party, is stopping a particular party from doing a particular thing. Injunction is stopping a particular person from doing a particular thing, particular act which he promised not to do, particular thing. ಓಕೆ, ಅವನು ಯಾವುದು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅಂಥದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ತರೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ could be inadequate when the damages are not the remedies. ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸರಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೇ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎನ್ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ರಿಲೀಫ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. Next, there are the two types of the injunctions: temporary injunction and permanent injunction. Under the temporary injunction is a provisional injunction which prohibits a party from doing some act for the time being till the question of the right of the aggrieved party is settled. Temporary is nothing but only till the certain period, for the 1 week, or for 1 week they are bringing the stay. After till that day, that particular person from doing some act. It's restraint or stopping a particular person from doing something permanently. ಅವನು ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟನ್ನು, ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಕನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಸ್ಟಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ permanently from doing some act. It is a permanent injunction. This is the types of injunctions: temporary and permanent. These are the remedies available for the aggrieved party. If there is a breach of contract, then remedies should be available to the aggrieved party. These are the 5 remedies. Okay, this is about the 4th chapter. Okay, we'll see this next 5th chapter in the next class. Okay, thank you.